gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. All right. Just get everything set up here. Let's see if we're actually on, because clearly life's trying to kick me in the face. Life's trying to kick me in the face. Life's trying to kick me in the face. Okay. We got some music going. I got this thing going so I can monitor it for a second. All right, you go here. Turn you a little bit. How we all doing? Trying to see if I can. So, all right, if I do this right, you cannot hear that recording. Yes, you can. You cannot hear that recording. Is it too loud? Let's see. Can you hear me now? All right. All right. Cool. All right. Hat, shirt, live streams up. All right. We got the new camera set up. So we should not be disconnecting today. Can hear it there. Oh, good Lord. What a day. What a day. I was excited today about today's episode. Like, literally shit all over me. All right. I can do one of these. Okay. All right. I did send out the text, like, way late. But right here. I'm waiting for so I'm just gonna update on my phone that says we went live at 53. So does it take like 3 minutes for the alert to go when I'm actually up? Hmm. So I'm not looking forward for the rest of the day, everybody. I'm telling you, I'm getting pooped on. Not good. All right. All right. All right. Relax. We got a good show today. We're gonna have fun. All right. You guys get a chance to listen to the new episode that dropped this morning? If you can hear the phone, like there's like an echo or a repeat, let me know because I can't hear it. I am curious to keep this on for a minute. I'm trying to remember what. Hey, mom. I'm trying to figure out like I had to make a couple of changes to the show today, so I'm trying to remember where I put the changes. Um, and then okay, who else is here? Who? Someone else just showed up, or that could have been mom. We'll see. I'm looking at blue text. Oh, big yawn. lot of people in that group chat that I don't know if listens, but they said they got it. Anyway, all right, 4 minutes. I feel like I have a hair out of place somewhere. I should have checked to see if they tried calling me. I'm having car problems, life problems. It's no good today, guys. Like, we're gonna have fun for the hour, but I dread literally everything after the hour. 5 o'clock should get a little bit better. See, now I just said that. Okay, so recording with Alice today at 5. The podcast awards are streaming their award ceremony at 5. So, spoiler, like I'll get into it in 4 minutes. I bet you my car is ready at 5. Or I get bad news at 5. I don't know. But I just told life when I would be okay. And it's going to do something to me at 5. How shitty is that? That's not good. Okay, and we're still working. We're still good. All right, we're doing this thing. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Now somebody else came in. Who just came in? oh. Oh man, I gotta go back to those early episodes, pull clips from when I used to wave, and then explain why I have to wave every time. Oh, good times. All right, hang out 3 more minutes, and we will see you shortly. Twenty seconds. Hello and welcome to Whimsy Live. And that's the wrong screen. Nooners. Oh man, it wasn't supposed to change all the way over. Lame. So, uh, skip ahead, and it did not take it. Okay, hold on. We're still fine. We're still fine. I forgot that I had two different layouts for the two different shows. But we got it. And yep, this one's the one. All right. See, hi, Grandma. All right. So during the pre show, I mentioned life is just pooping on me all over the place. And mom came by, and we both had the same, the same, thought. Okay. So there was a car recording. Okay. So there was a car recording, and I talked about the status quo, right? So as long as I don't do anything different, life stays normal. And then the second I did something different, it just keeps like just screwing me over. Last week, I talked about getting a new phone, or that was on like I got a new phone, got new internet, and I was on top of the world because I hooked up some sweet deals. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but this morning at like 8 a.m. Was that Eastern Standard Time? No, Mountain Standard Time. Verizon, the phone provider that I just got. Remember, I think I mentioned it. The Jaime, when he sold me the thing, no outages. Right. The idea was I was going to practice the new internet just to see if it was better and I can save a couple of bucks. He says there's no outages. It's good. Better. It's just as good as the stuff you're using right now. Well, this morning. Okay, so here's where. Okay, I guess sir. Okay, so I have car problems. That already sucks. Okay. So we're gonna have to double back to that. This is gonna be a whole episode. I'm gonna probably record it tonight as an ice episode, but we're just gonna give you the highlights. Okay. I have complained in the past about my car breaking down, and I'm always on the other side of town, like 70 miles away. So where does my car break down? A mile and a half away. We like I talked about it, four people told me that the car was fine. It just needed a fucking clean, like the battery cleaning. So now my car is broken down. This morning I get up, so now I gotta figure out how to get my car from one place to the dealership so I can be like, what the hell's wrong with my car? And then I call grandma, she drives me to my car. On my way to the car to put my keys in there, Verizon services go like the cell services go down. So I was able to call and get an appointment at the dealership. I was able to get the tow started, but now I have no way to communicate with either one of the people. So I don't know if the tow truck guy knows that my keys are in the car. I don't know if the dealership knows that the car is on its way. If they do get the car, I have no idea how they're going to get a hold of me to be like confirmed that they're wanting. I don't know any of it. And it just happened to be Verizon. And then I don't have an extra phone. Now here's what's the shittiest thing is, mom's phone works. So if I didn't cancel the other phone that I needed, the Steve Dave phone, if I didn't cancel that phone to help get this phone cheaper, would that phone have worked? like I get like life comedically just like sticking it to you, but man, it went above and beyond today. I have no idea what's happening. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go deeper on this. I'm gonna record it. I might. We'll see. So then I say at 5 o'clock. So somewhere I just said at 5 o'clock things should be okay because I'm gonna be recorded with Alice. I'm gonna be watching the podcast awards ceremony to see, maybe we win. Okay, so at 5 o'clock they're gonna call me and be like the car's ready, or the car's even more broken, or like the other rest of the internet goes out. I mean, we're still probably gonna win. Like that'd be cool. Like I'll take the win, right? Because all right, so it's all about balance, right? So everything is normal, and if I do something, right? So I lent out some money for a minute, then life is like, well, you shouldn't have done that. So they got to kind of keep itself balanced. So like, the more it poops on me today, the more I think we're gonna win because they can't just keep pooping on me and then we still lose the award. Like to be fair, I don't know if I really don't think we're gonna win the award. To be fair, but how cool would that be? Um, if I lose it to that kid, oh man, that's gonna be like a weird poetic. I don't know. So I don't know if I like that idea. Oh, it's weird. I don't know. So I have to edit the rest of Mark's episode. I'll have to edit Alice's episode. So tonight, depending on what happens the rest of the day, there is a chance that there will be a midnight live stream in which I will record my in case of emergency episode, and then I'll just take it off, and then I'll save it, and then when I need to use it, I'll re-air it. So there might be an exclusive podcast tonight. I don't know. Like I'll fall asleep through everything. That's I figured it out. That's what's gonna happen. I'm supposed to be doing something at 5, and then I'm gonna go fall asleep until like 8:30, and then like Victor at the dealership works until like 8 o'clock, and I just miss him. So now I gotta figure out how to get over there tomorrow. That's what's gonna happen. So that's my morning, guys. But we're still here because life is like, well, he still needs to do his live streams. We're not gonna mess with that too much. It's not connected to the new internet because I just I can't risk it. All right, today's episode is gonna be fun. A lot of TV, a lot of exciting TV. There is something in here for everybody. We're gonna have a blast. Let's see. First, what have I been doing this week? Getting to know me. I don't think there's a lot going on this week. Like I've watched so much TV. Uh, I did mention that this kid here, this kid's awesome. Krish, Krish. He does a podcast review. With the podcast awards happening today, I'm assuming him and his team, because he's got a team, um, just started messaging all of the people in his category, wishing him good luck. So, like, this kid's already a better person than I am. His podcast is pretty interesting. Uh, Not bad. I like the concept that he had for. He broke them up into seasons. I don't know how to do that, so I'm not ever going to change it into seasons. I wish I did number these though. So we need to figure out how to get these numbered. But yeah, pretty. What season 4 is what he's on. I think it was like 12 episodes. So for like the last like 12 weeks. Um, he's doing books from around the world. So every week he did a book review about a different book written by somebody in a different country. it was interesting. It was fun. I did listen to like a handful of episodes. Um, Short book review. He has like a little riddle in there. Just a really nice kid. So we've been we've been Instagramming back and forth at each other. I posted a couple of pics. I mentioned that he was on the show, and he says thank you, and he's doing what we like, man. Like this whole podcasting thing, like he's doing it. I want to give him some props and say congrats, good lucks. I still think I think we should win over him for sure, but we'll see. Um, Today podcast award is at 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern. I don't. I think there's probably a YouTube link somewhere. I don't know. I gotta find it. Um, so I just had a fun run in with a fellow nominee for kids and comedy or kids and family. This got added in last second and then changed again. So that's me having car problems again. The same car problems that I had the last time. But then we have Verizon on there because now Verizon's all over the place. Now here's the irony of all of this with the Verizon thing. I'm online looking shit up. They're like, they estimated like 200,000 people or more have lost cell service across the country. It might be more. It might have been just the one site tracked 200,000 complaints. But then as I'm researching it, so you have like so there's only two stories that's happening right now with Verizon in the news. Verizon outage affects across the country. And then on the business side, on the business news, they just signed a $3.3 billion deal for new towers. So we're like, what the hell is up with that irony? They're like, oh, we like they just hooked it up fat to be like, we're gonna be putting up cell towers everywhere. $3 billion worth of towers. Probably to help the internet and stuff. Like that deal should have went through last week, and so it didn't affect me today. I don't know. I hope this slide never happens again. I really do. Like, no more car problems. If there are more car problems, then you're gonna see next week. You're gonna see a slide of a new car in which I have to buy a new car. Like, I don't want to have to do that. Life can't do that to me yet. We got the trip coming up in 2 weeks, and then they're like, "Hey." Oh, it's funny because I was telling Liam, like, because he's interested on how much. He's like, "How much money do I have to spend while we're there?" And I'm like, "I don't." I'm like, "That's a weird question." I'm like, "I don't know." Like, I plan to give an allowance, right? But I do have like in my mind a certain like budget. But I screwed it up because when I booked the hotel rooms, I booked them like way in advance, but I forgot that they weren't prepaid. So my budget slightly skewed because I forgot to account for the rooms. Oops. We'll see what happens. I bought some new backpacks. Um, I sent Ming Chen some pictures, so he knows that we're coming over to record. I got some new merch that I did not update to the slide, so you're gonna have to wait next week to see them. Or go to patreon.com/chasing the whimsy, and I'll have pictures of them up later today. Um, I'm pretty sure that those are going to go out not November. November if November falls apart, but if not November, it'll be January. It'll probably be the January gift because I'm going to see if I can get signatures on the two new gifts, the new tokens. So yeah, car problems. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It sucks. It's so dumb. Like, okay, here's how you know, like, it's not even just coincidence anymore at this point. Everything that I've talked about over the last like 3 weeks is like happened. I don't want to break down in a different town. So I break down here. Liam and I, before we go pick up Sophie from Mother Grandma's, was like let's go to the dollar store before we go to the grocery store. And I said, well, we can get Sophie and take her to the dollar store too. And he's like, no, we can just take her to the regular grocery store. I'm like, that's fine. So like, if we picked up Sophie, we would have broken down, and it's like hot as hell outside, and it would have been miserable for all of us. But now I'm thinking, like, if we picked her up, we wouldn't have broken down. Because I don't know. No more car problems. New episode just dropped. We had a guest. Um, I did record last week, last Monday. I think we're just gonna call him an ice episode. Ice, in case of emergency. We've been talking about it for weeks. Of like, what, like, I need a nice random topic or podcast that I can drop in anytime in life. So like, if something happens and I can't drop an episode Monday after Chronicon, boom, in case of emergency, I throw that one in. They're recorded specifically for that reason, because I have like 3 episodes recorded that, oh my God, I have a hoarding problem. Someone needs to write that down. I should talk to you guys about my hoarding problem. So because those other 3 episodes weren't listed as an ice episode, I don't want to use them. I just want to keep them. It's so dumb. Anybody who knows me, maybe Nikki, Esther, Kelly, Gooster, you guys know that I have a huge like addiction slash hoarding issues. Oh, that's so funny. What else do we have? We got some new episodes coming up with. We should see an Alice Unplugged coming up soon. Um, this month's discussion with the Whimsy with the Z is, do the kids want to talk to each other, or do the kids want to ask me questions? And then also in November, I'm going to record with friends and family of the kids. So I think we got one mom, maybe a brother, and another mom. So we're going to get at least 3 uh, episodes in theory recorded for Whimsy with the Z, but from the parent family perspective. So it'll be interesting. But I figure I'd do that in November, so that way everybody can just take a break in December, and then those would just automatically drop in December. So a lot of fun episodes. And then we got the who is it? Newman, Mr. Newman. I got a power meeting with him next week. This week. Um, he wants to do a podcast, so I'm gonna talk to him about his show, help him get stuff ready to record. Slash, I'll help record them, and then we'll start putting them out, and we're gonna start growing the Whimsy brand and back into the Whimsy Studios. Got a guy on Facebook reaching out who wants to do a logo design for us. I don't know what a Whimsy Studios logo looks like. I just know it needs the gnomes in Whimsy Studios. So, um, Jay Sarge was the episode that dropped this morning, and he's so funny. He brought up a point, like, he's like a semi procrastinator, um, and it takes him like months, if not years, to do a project or something that he wanted to do. And then he was just like, "You guys are just doing whatever you want. Like, you just say you want to do it, you do it." So, like, it's fun. I enjoy it. I'm having a good time with all of it. And so, Whimsy Studios we're slowly getting there. It starts with Newman, and then we get 1 or 2 more, get all kinds of weird content out there for you guys. So it should be fun. Where am I on
Hey
time?
there, Whimsy
Minutes?
fans! We wanted to take a moment away from the fun to express how much your support and contributions mean to us. If you're liking what you're hearing from us so far, we'd like to invite you to show us some love on our new Patreon. Starting at just $1 a week, you can help us keep the whimsy coming. That's not just our podcast, but live streams and new projects on the horizon as well. All members get special shout out during our live streams. If you're comfortable giving a little more, please take a look at our gift tier. These gifts are hand-picked by the Whimsy crew to bring more curiosity, fun, and whimsy to you as thanks for your support. Every little bit counts, and whether you support us by listening and subscribing to our podcasts, holding court on our lives, or subscribing to our Patreon, thank you for helping us keep the magic alive and the mics on. You can find our Patreon at patreon.com/chasingthewhimsy or follow the link on our YouTube channel at Chasing the Whimsy. Thank you again for all the support. Whimsy!
Pocket watch. What have I been watching? All right. So life, right, needs balance. Last week, I told you all the shows that they were canceling that I loved. Everything that I liked, they literally got rid of. Chucky 3, it was even announced that they're now canceled after season 3. So every single show that I've enjoyed that was new in the last year and a half is gone. It's all gone. Like, that makes sense. So with the cancellation of one show, it opens up a time slot that that I need to fill. Here's some stuff that I've watched this week. These are all new episodes, new series. This one is up front because this one is the best show right now, TV show that I've watched this week. Adam Brody, Kristen Bell, a little rom com, like adorable. This is the best show on TV right now. Like, I don't know what it is. Um, Kelly picked up Sophie yesterday and she looked at me and she's like, "Did you watch?" And I said, "Yes." And we didn't even have to name the show. We just knew this was the show. Mom just started it. Like 10 episodes, 30 minutes. Like they don't drag out the 30 minutes either. Like it's a smooth running show. It is there's the banter, like they're both amazing. Like I enjoy both of their comedy and their timing. The relationship together is fantastic. The story is good. Like, okay, most rom-coms, right? It's like they're weirdly extremes, right? It's like, oh, this girl likes this boy, but I'm going to get fired unless I have to write an article that destroys his life, right? Or like he's the mayor of something and she's a maid, right? There's like these two, like most rom-coms we see are just extremes, right? I like her, but she can't remember anything after a day. This show, super down to earth, a very reasonable and like realistic scenario that's like maybe keeping them apart. I threw out the comment maybe a little hastily, but what I'm going to say is a almost damn near perfect rom-com series. It's awesome. The characters are fantastic. The brother Sasha is he's a hidden gem throughout this whole thing. Like, oh man, like I couldn't tell you what a perfect rom com would be, but this has to be up there. This is perfect. This is such a good show. It's on Netflix. Check it out. Esther's already finished it. I've finished it. Mom's gonna finish it today. I told her I'm like 10 episodes, 30 minutes. She's like, done. So this is a fantastic show. Glad I found it. Then we get into like Brilliant Minds. That's Zachary Quinto. It's a it has like a it's a medical show. The only medical show that I ever watched was House. So we're gonna semi compare it to House a little bit. Like the way that he thinks and some of the problems that he has to solve are like House-esque, right? Where they're not just easy fixes. So he's got to be like, I'm a special doctor, and only I'm the only kind of doctor that can solve these problems. But the show is boring as hell. It's only one episode in. The ensemble the ensemble is the rest of the cast. Like they don't explain his issue, right? Episode one of House, they're like the guy's addicted to Vicodin. Boom, go on. Like now we know what's going on. He's got some kind of face blindness, and that's it. That's when they don't even dive into it that much. He's got like 11 doctors that he's supervising or mentoring. It's not 11, but it's a lot. I don't know any of those guys, and I don't even like any of them. Maybe the girl, and then you need the one guy that kind of combats her. But then the other three you don't even need. Like it's just it seems clunky right now. Like the opening scene, I like it. I get it, right? He's extreme. He kidnaps uh patient, takes him somewhere so that he could be like spoiler, okay. He takes grandpa from the hospital to his granddaughter's wedding. There's a moment. You're like, this show is fantastic. And then it lost all of that heart and intrigue and then just fucked off with it. Like it was Mom's giving it one more week. I'll give it 2 more weeks. But something needs to change with Brilliant Minds. It's not like Zachary Quinto. Who else we got? This show is a mess, dude. This was supposed to be on last week's show because like early reviews was like this is gonna be the next big thing. This is what we've all been waiting for. Was that Joshua Jackson? Right? Mighty Ducks, Dawson's Creek. You haven't really seen him much in anything else. He's a doctor, right? And there was a moment in the show where it seemed like he wanted to be a House because he's like, I'm super smart and I can solve it. But he's like Rain Man and he can't solve the simple stuff. This show is garbage. Mom says she's going to give it a couple of weeks. I'm already done with it. You give me your opinions of it, but I think it was like it's a little hokey with like the way he's hanging out with the female lead. It's uh it's one episode. Spoiler. It seems like every episode will be a different cruise. It's a cruise of the week episode. So you'll have like five like recurring characters, and that's it. Like I don't know where you're. I don't know what kind of character arcs you get with this thing. So I don't know. I think this is a garbage show. That's my opinion. I'll watch it because that's what I do. But as of right this second, Brilliant Minds is better than this stupid thing. And then like I don't know. I don't know. It wants to be something, but it doesn't know what it wants to be because it's not cute and it's not. There's not a lot of like medical science. Mom mentioned like the Love Boat, like with the different crews every week. But then why have like the special genius doctor on this boat if you're not going to let him do genius things? He does like extreme things, maybe, right? They're like, we don't do surgeries on the boat. He's like, well, we can just do it this way. Like he's extreme, but he's not like outside of the box, like solving shit. I don't know. This one's no good. Here's the winner. This is the show right here, guys. I'm fighting the fences on this one. That is Kathy Bates. She's new Matlock. All right. So Matlock was was it Andy Griffith? Um he was like an old man lawyer taking on like the cases that nobody wanted to. But he was all like free. I don't think he's. I never watched Matlock. I was aware of it, but I never paid attention to like the like the intricates of it. But Matlock would run around. It was like a murder she wrote, right? Where every week he's just finding somebody else and he would help him, like lawyery wise. And he was like old and like doing this thing. Kathy Bates comes in, right? Her name's Maddie, and then they call her Matlock, right? And then they even reference that she's this like she's no relation to the Matlock TV show. Oh, it was brilliant. Like they were self-aware enough to be like, I am Matlock, and in my universe, there used to be a TV show called Matlock. Okay, so then like you watched, I'm telling you, watch the first episode. This thing is amazing, and then like there's some stuff happening. She does like her like I'm a feisty old lady, and she does some stuff to get into work, and then she's like plays it off like, oh, I'm just an elderly lady just trying to like find my place in this world, right? And then the end, boom, bombshell, hooked you. I promise you, you'll get hooked. This thing's gonna run for years. This thing's like 4 years in the running, man. This thing's gonna be amazing. Oh, the hook at the end of this thing was so good. Oh, I enjoy this one. I'm telling you, Mom loved it. This thing was amazing. This was such a good show. Uh, some of the characters are kind of like whatever. You can kind of like, but it's one of those things where they can develop them a little bit as you go on, right? She hangs out with two kid lawyers, and they seem to be having a good time. I don't understand the whole like dynamic of the rest of the law firm, but we got weeks to figure that out. Oh man, watch it all, and then be like this until you get to the last 2 minutes, and then I swear to God, blow up the chats because this show's amazing. It's so good. I love this thing. Um, it's gonna be a lawyer gear. Get rid of those doctor shows. They're no good. No good. Um, is there anything else out there that I missed? Any new shows? The irony is, Mom watched all these too, and I never even mentioned them. Well, I mean, she does network TV. The fact that I found them, it blows my mind. But we had very similar opinions. Matlock is gonna be so good. I love Matt. Oh, she's really good in it, man. It's Kathy Bates, everybody. Uh, what else is going on? Do I have anything else on So sorry for that. All right. I didn't know what else to call it, but we're going to jump down this rabbit hole real quick of there's 4 shows that I mentioned last week, and I'm going to deep dive on each one of them. But I do also have another thought. Now, maybe we'll bring it up again. I heard on a random podcast someone made a comment that shows are getting canceled. Um, what was the comment? I'm trying to remember what the comment was. I don't remember what the comment was. But there's this realization that's happening where shows that are seem to be doing better, like Tracker was like the number one TV show last year, and I don't understand why, right? And everything that's getting canceled are like the 10 episode streamers. We're starting to see some streamers come out with weekly episodes. So somewhere they big TV is starting to notice that their streaming model is completely jacked because they focus so much on like the viewership of the first like week or two, and then they're like, and it's all binge TV, right? So they're like, Sandman had like 56 million people watch it its first week, and then obviously there's a huge drop off, and then they're like, well, we're going to cancel it because of the drop off. But like, what do you want to do? Like, you got everybody who owns Netflix, you got everybody to watch it, and like because we binge it, there's no reason to rewatch it again. Your network TV, they're still running like 16, 22, 24 episodes a year. So I think what's interesting is we might, maybe, I don't know if we're going to see it, but the thought here is, are we needing to get back to a weekly schedule and get away from binge? Like there's some shows that are good to binge. Like I'll take that. But then there are other shows that would warrant, because like Industry on HBO, I love that show, and it's a weekly, and now I have something to look forward to, and now you get 8 weeks of 20 million people watching instead of 40 million people watching in the first week. I don't know. It's interesting just throwing that out there for a second because I want to get that on record that when we start going back to weeklies, Ben heard somebody say something that he couldn't articulate. All right. All right. So last week, one of the things I mentioned, McMahon. I don't think any of you guys are going to watch this. I'm going to spoil the shit out of this real quick. 6 episodes. One, just letting everybody know right now, Vince McMahon, I agree, is a monster. He's an absolute piece of crap, and I don't condone anything Vince McMahon has done. But the way that this documentary is shot infuriates me, and I like it's borderline bad, like documentarian slash journalism. Like it's episode one. There's a disclosure that says the following recordings were all done in 2021. There's 100 hours or more of these interviews, right? So in 2021, they had this idea to make this video, and they did. Okay. But what happens is, as they're shooting all these videos and they're putting this show together, the original concept of this thing, it has to be, is the rise of WWE because they're going to Netflix. So they were hired to do a huge documentary on the rise of Vince McMahon and the WWE. And they do all of that in 5.5 episodes where you're watching it and like he's a huge piece of crap, but you watch where he went from so Dad Senior ran the wrestling thing for a minute, and then Vince took over. And then you see some of the controversies, steroids, a sex scandal somewhere in like the 90s, um, the promotion, like how cutthroat it was. There's a whole episode about the Monday Night Wars with ECW. The entire the and then so you have all of these interviews. Like here's what okay. Well, it is literally the rise of WWE and Vince McMahon as a crazy genius to build this multi-billion-dollar industry. Like he's fucking like he owns all like what do they say? WWE cleared like $2 billion or something last year. Like it's the stupidest thing in the world. So they're like, yeah, check out this guy who just did amazing things. And then the last 30 minutes of episode 6, they get into all the controversy of Vince McMahon and the heinous things that he did. The problem with this whole fucking series is it is not written that way. They took every interview from 2021. You have The Rock in there. You have Hulk Hogan, John Cena. You have both of his kids, and then they're all just talking super, super nice about the genius. The Undertaker was in there, and they're like, Vince McMahon is a genius because he did things that people would never have done, and he built this empire. So you have all of these like it reads like all of these wrestlers are happy with Vince McMahon, but it's all 2021 Vince McMahon, right? And not one interview did they do with any of those wrestlers to comment on all the good stuff that they said in 2021. And it fucking infuriated me. Like it sounds like, oh, the documentary was good to like get rid of Vince McMahon. Just watch the rise of the wrestling, like the industry, right? The wrestling industry. It was fascinating. There's so much behind the scenes footage. You got heroes and villains throughout the whole thing. Like it was a very good documentary. But I lose all respect for every single person on this stupid show because episode 6 at like 30 minutes, they were like they put on the screen that says in 2022, like late 2022, Vince McMahon was accused of this. He sells his stock. He's out. Like he's completely out. Like he should be. And then they start talking about all of like the weird heinous stuff and like I don't if I was The Rock, Hulk Hogan, John Cena, Triple H, his kids, I would be so upset because you guys misrepresented me because I spoke highly of my dad and my boss at a time before I knew he was a monster. Like I like my current boss, both of them. I think they're fantastic. Now the problem is if they do anything heinous over the next like 3 years, they could pull this video and be like, "Well, Ben thought they were amazing people," and it's like, that's not what. No, because you never talk to me 3 years from now. You got a moment in time on a documentary posed as the rise of an empire. Absolute garbage. Like, oh, I was so upset. I was all conflicted for a minute, right? Because like you watch it and you're like, I know he's a monster, but it is fascinating just to see how wrestling has come up, and that's where I was getting into the mind pocket, right, where I want to get screamed at by 100,000 fans, like because it wasn't about Vince McMahon, it was about all these people that helped make this thing big. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to get so passionate about it, but this is bad. This is uh, it's absolute garbage. It uh, like they make this semi fluff piece for Netflix to get like this was supposed to. I bet you this was supposed to air like 6 months from now, right before it releases, before WWE goes to Netflix. They're going to be like, "Hey, everybody, here's why you should watch WWE because it's coming to Netflix. We paid what was it, $5 billion over 10 years, 10 billion over 5 years. Whatever. Netflix is like, hey, we put all this money in. You should watch it. Check out the rise of the fucking WWE. No, dude, this thing was a joke. Like we've seen smear pieces all over the place, like everywhere. There's like a bunch of monsters out there, and we get like I don't know, is there an Epstein like documentary? Like it's like 2 hours long, and it's just like he's a huge monster the whole time. This thing is just like, oh, I gotta get off of this one. This one sucked. Um, watch the first 5 episodes if you're interested in how the WWE as a wrestling program and business rose to the dominance that it is now. Like it's crazy good in that part, and then they just shit all over it. Like lame. What else? Wolves. I think I even said it. It was fine. It had a 1 week release a couple weeks ago in theaters. Um, I think part of the reason for that is if you ever want to nominate it for an award, one of the rules is it has to play in a theater for a week. So that's why a lot of these like Netflix movies or like these streaming movies, there's always one or two theaters that have them in there for the week, so that way they can technically qualify. Um, there was one Netflix one. It was Spanish black and white Roma, like 6 years ago, 5 years ago. Um, they did it. It was a Netflix thing, and they were like, "This is really good. We have to put it in the theaters for a minute." And it did end up winning best foreign film. So who's this? George Clooney. I keep saying Matt Damon, but it's not. It's Brad Pitt. It's fun. The back and forth between the two, and then the introduction of this kid in the back seat. Good. It's entertaining. You'll have a good time in the hour 40. Spoiler: there might be a second one. There maybe not. Um, it was enjoyable. I would not have paid $12 to see this in the theater, but I would watch it again streaming. I think part of the problem with this particular show is there's stuff happening on the surface, but you don't know what's happened. Like you know that there's something else underneath happening, and you don't know until literally the last 4 minutes of the thing. But they never alluded. Like they missed a couple of. They needed to drop little nuggets that actually answered some of the questions. So as at the end when they start putting it together, you're there with them. Uh, it was fun. It was entertaining enough. Mom enjoyed it. Not her favorite. She's not regret watching it, uh, but she's like, whatever. It was fun though. Those two together are fun. And again, if this show gets a sequel and or helps cause an Ocean's 14, then this show did what it was supposed to do. This movie was okay, but it reminded us how much fun these two are together as they're planning shenanigans. So this one's on Apple. It's up. It came out Friday. Mind Pockets. I did talk about this one. This was Ellen's last stand up. I watched it first thing Tuesday morning. No, Wednesday. Wednesday came out Wednesday. I'm trying to remember. She had a stand-up special, the one she had like 5 years ago. That one was entertaining. I don't know. I don't remember too much of her early stuff, like the pre I'm gay or just after I'm gay. Um, I've liked her, and I think she has some funny jokes, but she was never on my like top 10. Um, this one is fantastic. She like I enjoyed it. She's been out for like what, a year and a half since she had to leave the show. Um, she's a very like very funny person. She wrote a really nice show. She did get into the fact that she's been kicked out of Hollywood again for the second time, and she kind of talks about it a little bit because cancel culture never no one cares about the other side. It's only the accusations that kind of hold water until you get forced out. So this was kind of her platform to talk about the her whole situation from her perspective, right? Um, didn't shit on anybody, um, like specifically. The very end, she wrapped it up really nice. The the last punchline was fantastic. Um, I should have pulled it up or should have written it down. Uh, Mom enjoyed it. There's definitely a sadness to it because the way that she kind of explains it, it's weird because she did they ever like prove any of the stuff that they said about her? Um, the way she is being treated doesn't seem consistent with other cases, or she's being treated the same as if she was like she did something worse. Hold on, Ellen relate uh, final line. Watch it; it's entertaining. I can't find the quote for it. Plus, I want to deliver it very well anyway. I don't like. Obviously, there's a bias. I like Ellen. Um, I knew a little bit about her thing, right? Toxic workplace. She's not nice. But the iron, like, what's weird though is if we go 2 years before hers, I'm pretty sure. Like, I had to double check the dates, but it was but before hers. Like Steve Harvey had a very similar um, thing said about him, but yeah, he's still doing season 25 of Family Feud. Um, there's some hypocrisy, I think, in there. She does a really good job about uh, what happened, how she's handling it, the struggles of having to handle it, being kicked out again for a second time. Like she enjoys. Like I genuinely think she cares about people. She wants to be nice to people, and that she cares. And then for it to be like we don't care about that because of these like a couple of things. Like it was, it's just sad because nothing is like she's not the monster. Like I have not read or seen anything like there's no Vince McMahon ending to this, right? There's no like here's all the stuff that she did and it's heinous and there's a laundry list of things that she's did. I don't know. It was sad, but I'm happy she did it. I think she got a little bit of the closure she was hoping for, but I think the shittiest thing about it is that's not the way you want to go out. Like if this was her final show, like her goodbye tour, like this is like I think what sucks is like this is like a really shitty reason to end your tour because someone doesn't like me and like it's it's sad in that aspect, but I enjoyed the show. She was fun. I do like this one a lot. So, but yeah, get to that end. I don't know what's happening with TV right now, but TV is holding shit until the very end. That's just we're finding like I guess what I'm finding is that the endings really make or break the entire thing, which is like it's weird. Um, I like Ellen. This was a good show. I hope she finds her way back somewhere. I don't know what because she's at it like what, how old is she? Like 60, 62, 63? I think she's in her 60s. I don't know where she goes from here. Like I don't know where her comeback looks like, but you never know. All right. The last thing that I mentioned last week that you guys should watch. Mom absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. Oh my gosh. An hour 41 and uh it's like hard. You really have to watch it. There's like so much heart to this thing and it's like real and like honest and because it runs an hour 41, like you could see a nice documentary like this, right? Same concept. And they'll trim this fucking thing down to like an hour. And then what they'll do is they'll only show you the highlights, right? You'd be like, oh, hey, we're going to go on a cross country trip and look how much fun we had. This thing stuck with it the whole trip through. Like there were some real awesome moments in like middle America and like Oklahoma. The conversations the two have. So if you didn't listen to last week, Will Ferrell has a really good friend, Harper, who's post transition, and they take a road trip so that he can ask questions and like understand the whys and what it means. Um, and I think he's real sincere and honest throughout the whole thing. Um, there's a couple like really dark moments, not like super bad, but like some really disgusting from like a from like there's a lot of hate, and then they fucking throw it in there to let you know like this is a real thing. Like it wasn't just happy road trip. It was we did something, and here's a negative effect that it had. Um, Harper gets into like when she thought she was different when she wanted to transition. The ending, heartbreaking. Um, like how she was, it's amazing. A lot of heart. Um, it's good all the way through. It was so good. Mom thinks they should win every award there is. I will probably watch it one more time, at least. Mom said she's going to watch it again. Who else? I don't know. I'm trying to think if I know anybody else who's watched it. Like, is it's sometimes people aren't big on documentaries. Um, the the concept and the material might be a little bit. This thing is fan. This thing is amazing. It is at its core about two friends reconnecting when there was a big change and then understanding. Like it is the best friendship documentary you could probably find. Of it doesn't matter what the answers are. It's about the journey and the acceptance of the. Oh man, it was so good. I absolutely love this thing. I agree. You should see this next season for award seasons. documentary. Um, it should win best documentary and like directing or something. I don't think either of those two will win. I don't think documentaries have best actors. I think there's only like whatever it is. It's going to win the 2 or 3 awards that it could be nominated for. This thing was really good. Uh, man, because you don't know what to think about it when you watch the trailer because you get some of the chuckles, and then it's Will Ferrell, and you're like, he's always a funny guy. No, you get some real moments in this thing. Absolutely brilliant. Um, Nobody wants this. Matlock, Will, and Harper, the 3 best things you can watch on television right now. I'm saying it. The 3 best things as of today that you can watch that will like entertaining, give you the hearts, the feels. Um, that's all we got for you guys. Boom. That's right at an hour. I did go a little long on the Vince McMahon thing. I
Go
just
check
really
out
hate the fact that they did it that way. Like, how do you do a documentary 4 years ago and use all that footage and use it as representation for your opinion today? Oh, fucking bothers me. All right, one commercial. We'll say thank you to the Patreons. We'll get you out of here. And then I can try to figure out what the hell's wrong with my car.
Chasing the Whimsy, the podcast, available today on your favorite podcast platforms. Chasing the Whimsy, where a 40-year-old father and his 2 kids take a whimsical journey of fun stories and educating each other about their respective generation. Generation X squares off with Generation Z to try to connect and find an understanding between generations 30 plus years apart. They'll journey through the past and track their journey as they find out who they'll grow up to be. Again, that's Chasing the Whimsy, available today on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube as well, and you can also find the show and learn more about the hosts at chasingthewhimsy.com. Chasing the Whimsy, ChasingTheWhimsy, Chasing the Whimsy, the podcast. Many episodes up for you to listen to already. Go stream, download, and subscribe today. You can also connect and follow on Twitter at Chase the Whimsy and on Instagram and TikTok at Chasing the Whimsy.
Someone text me, remind me to take out that last part of that one. So I took it out on the Mind Pockets. Patreon. Andy, Nikki, Megan, Joyce Ann, Ender Frog, EC1, Gooster, Nina, Violet with a TE. Thank you guys for the $4 and the $10 tiers. There's a couple of you that have found your way to the Patreon, and you there's a free sign up. 100% get. You can't. You're not interested in the $4 or $10 tier. At least hit the free one. Let me know that you found the. I think part of it is let me know that you found the Patreon. Let me know that your like the awareness is there, aka it gives me a chance to know who I need to start trying to convert to give me $1 a week. Um, Again, if you can't do it, totally get it. Hit the free one. Follow all the podcasts. Like and subscribe. Comment. I'm just looking for any kind of engagement because I'm having a blast when you guys engage. Um, it's going to be fun. We're slowly building up because it was a month ago. We only had 4. You got 5 new this week or this month. I think it on the paper it was 4 last month, 1 so far this month. But thank you guys. Thank you everybody. We're gonna build this up a little bit. We got Whimsy Studios working its thing, and it'll be interesting. And then I think we're done with the show, guys. I think that's it. Boom, 105. You guys can't go wrong with 105. Keeps it right in that sweet spot grandma likes. And now I get to go figure out what's wrong with my car. Let's see. So mind pockets will hear. Um, hopefully you get hear a good result of my car. There was supposed to be here. Spoiler alert! There was supposed to be a Wednesday bonus episode that you guys weren't going to know about because Liam wanted to talk about dreams. He's got some weird dream situation going on. Don't know, but we got we got some kid Wednesday Z's coming out. We got some interviews in the pipeline. Hopefully, I can get the kid from 18 years ago, Malio. We'll get him on. We're having a blast. I appreciate everybody hanging out, giving me a break uh, from from like what the hell's wrong with my car. Um, I enjoyed today. A lot of TV talk, and I liked it. It was a good time. Um, there's a chance that next week you see more TV talk because I want to do the beginning of the month, the first Monday of the month. I want to do like a heads up. Here's what's coming out this month. So we're gonna be very TV centric. Uh, last week, this week, maybe next week also. But um, there's some decent stuff out there. There's some real fucking quality out there. Will and Harper, absolutely, you need to watch it. Matlock, I think, is a fucking gem. Hell with the doctor shows. You guys have a good night. Thank you. Whimsy. Where's my button?